Barakim Habarim, welcome to Messianic Moment Ministries. I'm Stephen Bruck. You know who you are. Today's the second day of November. So here we are, the very beginning of November, and we'll probably be seeing Valentine's commercials coming on in the next week or so. Well, who made you God? I mean, you know the type, right? They tell you what you must believe. They have their own ideas formed by taking verses or phrases out of context and forming an entirely different tenet based on it. And they also insult you, your beliefs, and sometimes they even go as far as to tell you that you aren't really saved or a true believer. And what do they base all this on? A post you made on social media. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so here on the website, and there's a subscribe button in the right-hand margin. Blah. And of course, one of these icons around here on YouTube lets you do it. Like the pages, click the notifications, the bells, all that stuff. And also join my Facebook group. It's called Just God's Word. But please, click. You gotta agree to the rules or I can't let you in. And by the way, if you like what you get here, you'll also like the books I've written, which you can get through the website. There are links in the website, or just go to Amazon, put my name in, Stephen R. Bruck, and it'll come up. And the books are available in either paperback or Kindle formats. All right, back to today's message. Well, I recently ran into one of these people. Someone responding to one of my messages who insists absolutely that if a person didn't show the signs that are stated in Mark 16:17 through 18, then they aren't a real believer. It started with her questioning my tagline, you know, God has no religion. And she asked me what religion I am then. I replied that I don't really care for labels, but if I had to use one, Messianic Jewish man would be the one that fits, although I prefer believer since I believe in God, I believe in Yeshua as the Messiah, and I live my life as close to being Torah observant as I can. Well, then she asked me if I show the signs that are stated in that chapter of Mark, and I said, I don't play with snakes, I don't drink poison, I'm not an exorcist or a faith healer. I'm just a teacher. I further explained that these signs they're not an absolute necessity for showing that you've accepted Yeshua as the Messiah, and they are not in any way a qualifier for the spiritual status of a person. I think I really ticked her off when I said I've never spoken in tongues and don't care if I ever do. Let me explain. You see, over the past quarter century, I've been a Messianic Jew, believer, whatever. I've heard many people babble away speaking in tongues, or so it seems. But according to the Bible, if someone is truly speaking through the Spirit, unless there is someone else there who, by the same Spirit, interprets the message, then that person should remain silent. That's 1 Corinthians 14:28. My experience over these 25 plus years in two different houses of worship at least. One was a Messianic synagogue when I lived in Northeast Philly, and here down in Florida I was at a Hebraic Roots church for a couple of years. In that experience, when I've heard people speaking in tongues, never has anyone ever interpreted. No one, ever. And I've heard it plenty of times. There have been so many people that are so desperate to speak in tongues that, well, I believe they do it themselves, convincing themselves that they are babbling along is really spirit-led, and they do so audibly. So I have to ask myself why they go against what Paul says, especially since so much of Christian teaching is that Paul's really the one who they should listen to. And my answer is they speak in tongues out loud so they can receive the honor of people. And we all know, or at least should know, what Yeshua said about wanting to receive the honor of people. So I'm new. What's my point to all this? It's this. Do not throw pearls before swine. If you meet someone who thinks they are God in that they can determine the true level of your spiritual being through reading something you posted, block them. Really, just block them. You will never get through to them. And all you will receive for your efforts to prove yourself truly a God-fearing man or woman will be insults and frustration, both of which lead to unrighteous anger. Truthfully, I feel sorry for those types because despite how holy and spiritually gifted they think they are, when they come before God, He will strip that skin of self-righteousness they have from their bodies, and His judgment of them, well, it'll be like pouring lemon juice on that now raw and exposed skin. Really, can anyone really judge a person's relationship with God from a Facebook post? I don't think so. And when someone goes as far as to judge your relationship with God, deny that you really do believe in Messiah Yeshua, and refute what you say about your level of biblical obedience, well, I just got to ask, who made them God? Well, thank you for being here. And remember, I do welcome your comments, except not so much the nasty ones. Well, that's it for this week. So, the Hitrot, and let me wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.